My name is Raphael, and what I'm about to tell you is a story that still hurts, but that I'm finally managing to get out. Maybe this is the first step for me to truly move forward. 2 years ago, I was living what seemed like a dream. I was living with the woman I loved. Leticia and I dated for 3 years before we moved in together. We weren't married, but we just wanted to be close to each other. For us, that was enough. We rented a small house, simple, but it suited us very well. And most importantly, in a neighborhood that we really liked. At the time, nothing bothered us, not even the lack of space in the house or the walls that needed painting. We were together, and that's what mattered. We had a plan, we worked hard. Me in a mechanic shop, and Leticia in a beauty salon. Every month, we set aside a part of our money and put it in the bank to make a down payment on our apartment. It was 2 years of much sacrifice and many deprivations. We barely left the house. We didn't buy anything that wasn't necessary. Our leisure was basically staying home, watching movies and series on our couch. We didn't have anything fancy, but it was a good life, at least until the day of the accident. It was a Friday. I left the shop a little late and was exhausted. Leticia had asked me to stop by the supermarket to buy a few things. I got on my motorcycle and went. I don't remember much from that day. I only remember the flashes of headlights coming in the opposite direction. I remember the impact, and after that, I passed out and only woke up in the hospital. I had fractures in my legs, hip, and some broken ribs. I suffered such serious trauma to my right arm that it was almost amputated. I was unconscious for 3 days. My mother and Leticia were there when I opened my eyes. For the first time after the accident. She was holding my hand, crying, and said that everything would be okay. And I believed her. In the beginning, it was very difficult, but Leticia was with me. She would come to visit me every 2 or 3 days. She brought juice, talked about the news, and carried on with her life. I felt very bad, knowing that she was alone and had to fend for herself. And that I wasn't there to support her. After about 2 months, Leticia's visits started to become very infrequent. She would go a week without showing up, then 15 days, a month. Until, suddenly, she stopped visiting me. She started making up various excuses. She told my mother that the salon was getting very busy. And she couldn't get away to see me. In the beginning, I even believed her excuses, but my mother didn't, and we even argued about it. And I always said, "Calm down, Mom, she must be tired, the salon must be very busy. Maybe it's even hard for her to see me like this, you yourself don't like it." But as the days went by, besides her not visiting me anymore, the messages we exchanged were increasingly shallow. And I realized that Leticia no longer cared about me. Even her mother came to visit me once. She seemed a bit awkward and didn't talk much about Leticia. She brought me a cake that I couldn't even eat. I started asking some questions about Leticia. She hesitated, but I felt she wanted to tell me something. And I kept insisting until she said, "Raphael, I'm so sorry. I hope you recover because you are a very nice guy. Leticia is very confused, you know. She needs time to think, to know what she wants from her life." Hearing that hurt me more than any broken bone I had in my body. But I got the message. I spent 7 months in that hospital, between surgeries, physiotherapy, and endless nights. Staring at the ceiling, trying to guess what Leticia was doing and if she was with another man. It was 7 months of feeling the absence of a woman I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. When I was finally discharged, I went back home. Or rather, I went back to my mother's house. I had nowhere else to go. In the house that Leticia and I lived in, there was nothing left. Leticia had left the property and disappeared. Things got worse when I was sure of what I had imagined. I had a mutual friend with Leticia, named Kaio, and he called me to talk. He was very honest. He said that Leticia was already living with another man, a client from the salon, whom she ended up meeting. Sometimes, I even wonder if she didn't already know this guy before the accident. Besides the betrayal, another thing that afflicts me to this day was our money. The money we saved with so much effort for just over 2 years. There was nothing left in our account. She had transferred everything. I remember that day, I pulled up a chair in my mother's kitchen, sat down, and cried a lot. Not only because of the betrayal, but because of everything I had dreamed of with Leticia. The overtime at the shop, the holidays I worked, and the sale of my car to help with our apartment. And, suddenly, everything turned to dust. And my mother, poor thing, suffered with me, trying to comfort me. But even she didn't know what to say. Despite the help of my family and some friends, I went through some pains that I had to go through alone. Even if everyone wanted to help. Today, it's been 5 months since I left the hospital. I'm still recovering, doing physiotherapy to improve my mobility. Because I still have some difficulty. This new reality of returning to my old body is not easy for me at all. I have to go to my room, depend on my parents' help even to take a shower, and I feel like a burden to them. Sometimes, I look for someone to blame. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Leticia, and sometimes it's fate. But in the end, I realized that there's no point in looking for blame. What matters is to lift my head and move forward. All I want now is to rebuild my life. One day at a time. First, go back to work. Then, I want to study. I want to improve my life and improve the lives of my parents. I'm not going to lie. There are days when sadness hits my chest very hard. But there are also days when I can laugh, make jokes about life, even about my own misfortune. Remembering that, despite everything, I'm still here, that I survived. And maybe that's enough, at least for now. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to send in a story, the email is in the description.